Let's talk a little bit about mindfulness and gratitude. So these two practices go really well hand in hand. Mindfulness can be defined as the practice of bringing your attention back to the present moment as it's unfolding, and doing this with a sense of curiosity, a sense of openness and acceptance to what is. So an example of this might be when you're walking, noticing that you're walking, noticing what that feels like, noticing the sights and the smells and the sounds around you, maybe noticing your breath coming in and out a few times, rather than what we normally do when we're walking, which is thinking about what we're going to do when we get to our destination. So the mind is usually in the future, the past, and mindfulness is this practice of bringing it back into the present without judging it, without judging ourselves or our experience. And this is often practiced through meditation. However, meditation can sound a little bit intimidating for some people, and we can have quite a bit of inner resistance to this. So many of us might say, oh, meditation, I don't have time for that. But we're at a really unique time, 2020, the pandemic. Many of us have had at least a few weeks or a month, or many of us more, where we've had more time on our hands. And many of us haven't integrated these practices. So knowing that inner resistance is natural and that's okay. Knowing that it's there because we live in a society that constantly pushes us to go, to produce, to always be doing, and it does not really tell us to pause, to slow down, to pay attention of what it feels like to just be. And that's really what mindfulness is about. Luckily, it only takes a few minutes a day, and we can integrate it in some really simple ways. And doing those simple practices over and over again brings some amazing benefits that have been well researched and documented with some pretty rigorous studies to find that mindfulness is really good for our emotional and mental health. It reduces depression, it reduces stress and anxiety. It increases our sense of well-being, our empathy, so it has positive benefits on our relationships with others. It also increases our focus and just our sense of appreciation of life. And that's how gratitude also plays really well hand in hand with mindfulness, because even just pausing and being grateful for what you're doing or kind of savoring the moment that you're in can be a really powerful way to bring some of these benefits into your life. So one great example is savoring. So take some activities that you do every day, maybe drinking your morning coffee or tea, maybe it's hugging a loved one or going for a walk. And each time you do these activities, see if you can slow down, if you can soak them in with all of your senses. So noticing, for example, with that morning cup of coffee, how it feels in your hand and what the smell is like. What it feels like to just pause and savor this moment. It really makes it more of a restorative experience rather than what many of us do, which is just kind of shove the coffee in our mouths and run out the door. So that's a simple way you can start to bring these practices of mindfulness and gratitude into your life.